When will people realise that Gareth Southgate is totally and utterly out of his depth? Gareth Southgate has had so many opportunities with England and he has failed at every single hurdle. When will people understand? When will people accept that Gareth Southgate does not have what it takes? He does not have the wherewithal. He does not have the managerial brilliance and he does not have the minerals to win silverware with England. I find it so tiresome. I find it so boring. And look, this isn't about the result today. Look, fairly uninspiring, underwhelming draw for England. But it wouldn't matter if England had won 5-0 or lost 5-0. England need a new manager. This isn't about Southgate. I don't want this to come across as like an attack on Gareth Southgate as a personality, as a person, as a man. Because on all of those fronts, I rate him. I like him. I think he's a really good bloke. I genuinely do. I think he is such a good bloke, and I think he's done an awful lot of good for England and for England's national team. But we are wasting a golden generation. If this England team wasn't this good, I wouldn't care. I'd want Southgate to be manager. When we had previous eras where we just weren't capable of winning silverware, you know, when we had Andy Carroll up front in 2012 going to Ukraine, Poland for the Euros, I would want Gareth Southgate in charge because he's a good man and he can lead the team in a very humble way and ultimately he conducts himself like a statesman. So there is a lot to be said for him. But this team are poetry. This team are world class. This squad is one of, if not the most talented squad in world football. And we are wasting a genuine chance to go to Berlin and lift silverware. Imagine England going to Berlin and lifting silverware. The Germans did it to us in Euro 96. You know, they beat us the last ever game at the old Wembley. They have done it to us so many times. It would be amazing for us to go to Berlin and genuinely be challengers. But with Gareth Southgate at the helm, I just don't think it can happen. But there isn't enough bravery, there isn't enough courage in the FA to acknowledge this. So they will stick with the statesman, with somebody who is a safe, assured pair of hands, but somebody who ultimately isn't a winner. Look, weirdly, I think England could win it with Southgate. I think this squad is so good. Think about the players not in this squad. Think about the players that didn't play today. That's how good this squad are. I think we could almost win with anyone as manager. And maybe Gareth Southgate will get lucky that the squad is so good it will win, with or without him. But if we were to employ a genuine winner, a genuinely world-class manager, I think England will win the Euros at a canter. And that would be a dream come true. I would love to watch England win silverware. It's the one pleasure in football that has been deprived from me. I've seen so many things in football. You know the old thing, the old flag that goes everywhere now. We'll see things they'll never see. I've seen England play at American R. I've seen Chelsea play in Japan. I've seen Chelsea win every trophy I could dream of watching. I've been to Euros. I've been to qualifiers. I've been to Poland, in fact, for a qualifier. I saw Jermaine Defoe score a winner for England in Krakow years ago. But the one pleasure that has been deprived of me for so long is England winning genuine silverware. And I just don't think that it can happen. It's not about today. Look, today, doesn't matter. England are through. England will be going to Berlin. England will be going to Germany. There is no doubt about it. Gave a few chances today. You know, Zinchenko scored, very good goal, gave the Ukraine the lead. Kyle Walker, Kyle Walker on the stroke of half-time with his first international goal. 12 years on from making his England debut on his 77th cap for his country. He finally scores for England. And it's an important goal too. Very cool finish. I thought Harry Kane did so well for that goal, by the way. But, you know, Zinchenko, definitely one of the best players on the pitch. I thought England overall were about 6 out of 10. We weren't particularly good. I thought Jude Bellingham shone early on, but sort of wilted. James Maddison, it's sort of weird. You know, I thought he looked electrifying at some points, and I thought he looked quite sloppy at other points. I thought Kyle Walker was probably the most outstanding player on the pitch. You know, his speed and his defensive recovery is so reassuring, particularly when you think he was up against Mykhailo Mudryk. Now, whatever you think of Mudryk, jet-heeled, rapid, and there was time and time again where it looked like Mykhailo Mudryk had got away from Kyle Walker and he had a head start on him, and Kyle Walker would constantly recover and shut the door on his face, even when he was coming from behind. Very, very impressive from Kyle Walker. But look, let's remember, England have virtually qualified for the European Championships. So today is neither here nor there. You know, the first 4 victories in the first 4 qualifying rounds are what it's about. But today, in a huge game, really, because England win, we go totally clear. Ukraine win, suddenly they're on our heels a bit. I never thought there was any jeopardy about England qualifying, but it'd be lovely to have gone 5 out of 5. Scotland have managed to do it, by the way. France and Scotland, I think, the only 2 that have managed to do it. So it would have been nice to win. But crucially, the onus was on England. You know, all the questions were about England. Who are you? What can you do on the ball? What can you show us? Can you penetrate? Can you be unpredictable? Can you be brilliant? And to all of those questions, the answer was no. You know, what can you do with the ball, England? Ukraine were going to sit back. Particularly after, they went 1-0 up, sit back. The answer really was that England couldn't do a lot. A couple of nice moves here and there. Bukayo Saka had that shot blocked. There was that amazing save towards the end. But England basically were lacklustre. England were basically out of ideas. And look, this isn't about today. I don't care about today. But ask yourself, have you seen anything in Gareth Southgate to suggest that he is the man to take England to silverware? Think back to all of those opportunities that he's had. Think back to when we went out of the World Cup in 2018. It was ours. It was there. Maybe not winning that tournament, but England should have been in a final. But England capitulated. We conceded the midfield to Croatia. And ultimately, we were the architects of our own downfall. Think about what happened at Wembley. England playing at Wembley in a final against such an average Italian team, an Italian team that didn't even make the World Cups either side of that tournament. We're at home. We go 1-0 up after 2 minutes. The game goes to extra time. We play 120 minutes of football. England in 120 minutes of football at home at Wembley Stadium. A first final since donkey's years. 1 shot on target. Gareth Southgate's tactics. Defend, hope for the best, allow Jorginho to dictate. And the reason that Italy won that World Cup was because Roberto Mancini was a better manager than Gareth Southgate. I don't even care about that Nations League particularly. I'd rather have won it than not won it. But do you remember when we lost to the Dutch? It was there for us. And we capitulated again. And I just know that it's going to happen. I just know that it's going to happen in Germany. We will be having this conversation again and again and again because Gareth Southgate is not a winner. The only way this England team will win is through their own dazzling brilliance. And the players are most certainly there. You know, they didn't necessarily shine today. I thought Bukayo Saka played very well. I thought Harry Kane played very well. But look, I think overall Bukayo Saka was a little bit injured. He took one to the knee, didn't he, from Mikalenko. And he carried on, but he was limping about a bit. However, he was still England's most threatening attacker. Still one of England's best players. Still hit the crossbar. Overall, I thought he did very well. Kane, just the assist for that goal. And good chasing down as a sort of first line of defence. He dropped very deep, which I thought was slightly annoying. But generally speaking, we just weren't good enough. James Maddison had an opportunity. I thought, playing the left-hand side does it in a slightly different way. I thought we were going to see a link-up with Ben Chilwell. Didn't really happen. But yeah, he had licence, James Maddison, and I thought that we'd see a bigger impact, but it didn't come. There was a heavy tackle on him, wasn't there, from that Stepanenko. That won't have helped. He got frustrated. He got booked as well. Can't give him more than a 5 out of 10, really. So ultimately, it was a fairly uninspiring day. But it is what it is under Gareth Southgate. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think I'm too harsh on Gareth? Do you think he's the right man for the job? And please do me a favour before you go. Please subscribe. See you in a bit. Have a wonderful Saturday night.